Hello. Are the mackerel in yet? Oh, that's that's definitely a fish. Success on the first cast. Own mackerel. Nope, but the left one is. Hey, boing, boing, boing. There we go. Look. Oh, yes. You see, I tempted fate. It never fails. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A mackerel. Good afternoon and good evening all. I hope we are well as always. So it's middle end of May, glorious sunshine as you can see, definitely not raining. Who remembers this video? The summer pop-up fishing. That was loads of fun. It was a really popular video as well. So I thought it's about time I did another one. And what I thought I'd do this time is involve this video from last year, which was also really popular, the One Mackerel Challenge. So I'm going to do the One Mackerel Challenge Summer Edition. Of all the glorious weather days we've had recently, why did I have to pick this one? Oh, it's horrible. Right, first one in the water. And I've got a decision to make now. Do I hide in my beach shelter until the shower passes, or bait up my other rod? I'm a die-hard, hardcore fisherman, so I'm going to shelter. Let's have a little look-see here at the rig, shall we? I'm going to resist saying what I always say, super simple, because I always get told off. It's only simple if you know how, which is correct. There was a stage in my life where I couldn't even tie my own shoelaces. We have a 2-up, 1-down flapper. Hopefully, most of you know what that is by now. To any newcomers, what's the best video to copy that rig? The bream fishing video, the Milford Shinglebank one. What was that called? How many bream? Something like that. I think I show how to make a 2-up, 1-down flapper in that one. So the rig body is going to be exactly the same as that video as it happens. But ever so slightly longer. So I've gone with 3-foot snoods. I think I was on 2-foot snoods that day, was I? Please correct me if I am wrong. So we have a nice long, just over 6-foot long rig body. A little clip at the top, lead link down the bottom here. It's called a 2-up, 1-down because I have 2 snoods coming out sort of up the rig body. So one at the top, one in the middle, and then bottom snood is down the rig body, so right down the bottom. That's really important to remember, that where the snoods are on the rig body has very little to do with where they are actually sort of laying in the water. A lot of people think that if you've got a snood right at the top of your rig body, then it's going to be lifted off the bottom just naturally because of the way your rig is. Unless you're fishing very, 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 very close, your rig is nearly always sort of flat along the seabed. So don't go thinking sort of 2-up, 1-downs, 3-ups, that sort of thing. You're lifting your snoods off the bottom. That's just not the case. However, having said all that, we are trying to lift our snoods off the bottom, so we're using pop-up beads. These little sort of foam beads that attach to our line, and that will actually lift the bait off the bottom. This is a 3-foot snood, so our baits are going to be wafting sort of enticingly around, I guess, sort of 2.5, 3 foot off the bottom. Like that, attracting those mid-water fish like mackerel. I did bring my really light rod down with me tonight, my super sexy little quiver tip rod, in the hope of using that, because it's just a fun way of fishing. Right, so at the end of our snood, a size 6 worm hook. Don't use anything bigger than that. If you're going to be using a owner, so like an owner pint hook, use a size 8, because it's the same size as a sasami or yuki wormer, size 6. Did that confuse everyone? Confuse me. I think the most important thing with pop-up fishing is size of bait. Now, I bang on about this a lot with general sea fishing. I think the vast majority of people use baits that are far too big for fishing anyway, regardless of what you're fishing for. But it's absolutely crucial when you're doing this style of fishing to get those baits down tiny size, okay? I've cut myself a nice long strip of mackerel there. First thing I'm going to do is remove pretty much all the flesh from the back of the strip. We just don't need that, that's just going to weigh things down. We've more or less just got a long thin strip of skin really, like so. And then I'm just going to chop it into, I don't know, almost an inch. That'd be quite generous for that one. Oh, was that a fish? Oh, I just missed a fish, guys. I have, haven't I? You guys are supposed to be warning me if there's a fish on. No? What happened there then? Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention. Were you paying attention? My big fat head was probably in the way, wasn't it? I just looked back and my rod's gone slack. Okay, let's carry on baiting out the other one. I took my eyes off it now. Where was I? Yep, so just little thin strips. I just hooked once. In the very end, little tiny bit of mackerel like that. So, you know, compared to the size of my finger there, look. Tiny bits of bait. And that will ensure that that pop-up bead can actually lift that. If you go for a great big bit of bait, your pop-up bead is not going to do anything. Just because you put a pop-up bead on your snood does not necessarily mean you're popping up. We're singing in the wind. What a wonderful day. One thing I'd recommend when doing this sort of fishing is have loads of little baits pre-cut, all ready to go. Because sometimes if you get a shoulder mackerel move through, you want to maximise that time. It might only be in front of you for, you know, could be 10 minutes or so. You want to be in and out. You don't want to be wasting too much time. And whilst you're waiting for a bite, prep some bait. And this is so much easier than feathering, right? Oh, there we go, look. Yeah! That didn't take too long, did it? Just enough time for me to waffle along and bore you guys to death and catch fish. Ah, there's so much fun on the lake here. Really are. Why you'd want to catch mackerel on big, heavy beach casters and 5-ounce leads and feather, I don't know. This is a more productive, far more entertaining way of catching mackerel. Success on the first cast. Own mackerel. First cast. Success. What's the most popular question in fishing? Are the mackerel in yet? Let's get this rebaited. Tiny little fleck of green weed and that is it. So that's nice. We've got nice clear water, no weed. That's a bonus. Right, that's back in the water. Have I missed anything on the other rod? Oh, I have, haven't I? Oh, I actually have. Come on, guys. Could have told me. That's a nice chunky one. There we go. Number 2 for the sesh. 2 casts, 2 mackerel. Oh, that's that's definitely a fish. Might have to go down to 1 rod, I think. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to keep up. Ooh. That could be more than 1. Double shot on the second cast. So I could cheat massively, couldn't I? The 1 mackerel challenge, I could use all these as bait. I've just turned the 1 mackerel challenge into the 5 mackerel challenge in about 10 minutes. What a shame, it's not a glorious sunny day. This should be amazing summer fishing, but no, good old England. What is the time? Time's 6:57, okay. I've been here about 20 minutes, so with a little bit of setup time. Probably only been fishing for about 15. And 4 mackerel in the bucket. So far, so good. I haven't had to so far, but if you do go for a period of sort of 3 or 4 minutes without a bite, who remembers what we have to do? It begins with T, twitch. So all we do, a couple of quick turns of the handle. I'll do this one as well, even though I've just cast it out. And just do that, sort of every 30 seconds or so. A little bit of movement involved. Every now and again, twitch, twitch, twitch. Keeps things moving as well. These things are very visual feeders. I should be cutting up more mackerel. Right, shout if I get one this time, please, guys. Come on. I should really be using one of the fresh mackerel, because fresh mackerel is the best bait in the world. It's so much tougher and firmer and easier to cut up and just amazing. But I feel like that would be breaking my own rules a little bit, and you know, I'm a man of my word. Right, cut a little stripper. Twitchy, twitchy. Here, fishy, fishy. It's quite active fishing. It's the sort of thing that when you get a bite, you want to react to it straight away. A lot of the fishing that I do, you know, bassing and rays and hounds, that sort of thing, really, you could, you know, sit on that bite and let the fish do its thing. But with this, I think it's more important to actually react and get that fish in. Should we do a proper rig video? I think my description just now was a bit pants, wasn't it? So let's do a proper rig video back in the studio. Well, no bites. So this has been out there for nearly 10 minutes now. I think with this sort of fishing, don't leave it too long. If you've had no bites, bring it back in, check your bait, reposition, and try different distances as well. You know, whack it up as far as you can. Plop it in close. These shoals, they move around all over the place. Oh, there you go. And reeling in halfway, and I just caught a mackerel. Honestly, had nothing on. And now I have something on. So that tells me they're a lot closer than I was casting, or catching the previous ones. Because I've just been nobbled, I think is the professional's term, on the way in there. I was reeling in, I thought, oh, I've snagged something. And then the snag started running around like a lunatic. I'd like to say I did that deliberately, so I saw a shoal of mackerel pop up. I thought, I'll bring my bait in closer when I catch one of those. Obviously, that would be a lie. There we go. One mackerel caught whilst reeling in. You can't take luck out the equation, can you? Right, so I just plopped that much closer. I was going to say to where I think I hooked that mackerel. I think actually I went a little bit further, but it does mean I can just sort of twitch it back into them. Oh, other one's on. That looked like a bite. Not being quite as enthusiastic as they normally are. Normally they're hooping the rods over. Was it a bite? Did anybody see anything happen? Oh, well, it's heavy. Yeah, I think I've got a fish on there. Oh, normally with the mackerel, then ramming the rod over. Being a bit coy out there today, which is unusual. 6 and easy, half a dozen in the bucket. Half hour in. That's a koi mackerel. A bit like a koi carp. Oh, fish, 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 boing, boing, boing. Here she comes, here she comes. What do we got? It's a mackerel. I mean, it's a bit monotonous. We know it's going to be a mackerel, right? Probably don't need to do that every cast, do I go, oh, look, a mackerel. Ooh, just to prove a point then, that was on the bottom snood, look, the one right down the bottom of the rig by the lead, just to prove that that is up in the water, not on the deck. What's the right one doing? Was that doing anything? Was it having a little flutter, perhaps? Nope, but the left one is. Hey, boing, boing, boing. There we go, look. If you are going to come and do this, and I really hope you do, pick the floppiest rod you have. Even if it's that really cheap, nasty thing you've had for years and you're a little bit too embarrassed to take out in public. 2 reasons. First of all, it's really good fun. Second of all, it actually helps cushion. So as those mackerel are going crazy on your line, especially when they're right in the edge, a really nice soft rod cushioning all those lunges actually helps not drop fish off. You don't want to be coming down there doing this with a big stiff beach caster. Oh, look, oh no. Could somebody come and reel this one in for me? I appear to have a bit of a double hookup situation going on. Oh, they are such fun fish. Oh, let me go around here and land this thing anyway. That's still on there, that's still on there, that one. That is still on there. There's that one. I'll deal with the rig in a minute. Is this one still on there? Have I got lucky? I do believe I have. Maybe I should switch tactics on one of the rods. That'd be a bit more sensible. Actually, if there's a load of mackerel around, I have got a bass rig. I've got a 6.0 bass rig, the earth rig in my bucket. That could have a head and guts of mackerel in the edge, couldn't it? Just a bit of a sleeper rod. You never know. You never know. If there's mackerel around, there's going to be bass chasing the mackerel. There she is. Whoa, look at the size of that one. That's a beaut. They're actually just really awesome things, mackerel. Great bait, great food, great fun. Right, that's that one back out there. I think I'm going to have a look at a plan B with the other rod. I don't need to keep catching mackerel. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the bucket already. Let's not be greedy. One times earth rig with enormous circle hook attached. That is going to have the head and guts treatment. The big bass treatment. I'll try and save as much of the flesh as I can for this. In fact, I'm probably going to lose most of that guts when I cast out, but... Am I glad I'm not a fish? There we go. Quite confident, the way my luck's been recently. Oh, don't panic, Thomas. Look at that thing bend. The rod. Sorry. What are you thinking? Number 9 in the bag. I think I need to take a moment to compose myself. I've got rigs everywhere, I've got no rods in the water. It's just chaos. It's chaos, Jim. Let's try that again without the interruption. Head and guts of mackerel. That's going to get flopped. Well, I was going to say fully 5 yards, but I'm actually probably going to go about 10, just trying to judge where the drop off, where the gully is. I don't know. I'm going to flop it in the sea anyway. Hopefully, that'll be the one that goes. 2 rods back in the water. Slight change of tactics. Got to go big sometime, haven't I? Still waiting for that double figure bass to come my way. I was 11 ounces short last week, wasn't I? Well, it was a lure caught PB. Very alluring. If anybody of you didn't watch that, I'll put a little link up. Need to change battery on my camera. Hopefully nothing happens. I'm like the Red Bull Formula 1 team. Done. Blink and you'll miss it. Ah, didn't look. I didn't even pick up my box. Really? This one's going crazy. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. Yeah, no bait on the other 2 hooks. Own mackerel. If you're still with me, battery hasn't died, has it? No. Do you know what? I'm not going to recast that until I've sorted out. I've got rigs everywhere. I need to change the battery. Let's just have a breather for 5 minutes. It's mad, this fishing lark. Right, we're back. Battery change. Let's rebait that rig. Get it straight back out there. I should get in the right tangle with this rig. Oh, now I've just hooked my foot. Oh, heaven's sake. If I was a well-oiled match fishing machine, I'd have a whole bunch of rigs all ready. But I'm not. I just, trying to do all this with 2 rigs. Mackerel tend to like to swim in every direction at the same time. So if you're going to do this sort of fishing, which again, I really hope you do, bring plenty of spare rigs. Tangles, they're not inevitable, they're guaranteed. Just don't worry about it. I always get people worrying about tangles. Oh, how do you stop tangles? Well, you can certainly do things to reduce them, but you're never going to stop them entirely, so just don't worry about it. Have loads of spare rigs. If you get in a mess, if you've got a big ball of doom of a rig, chuck it in your bucket, sort it out at home, get a fresh one out, start again. 7:48. 7:48, is that all? I feel like I've been down here for ages. Got so many fish. I would suspect I might have another 45 minutes of this. Usually as the light fades, they do sort of quieten off. But then that's when all the other things, so there could be some scad. So if I kept with the pop-ups, I could catch a few scad. The bassing will probably improve. I could then use that fresh mackerel for rays, bass. There's a few hounds around. Glenn Short in our little club match down here last night, he had a lovely hound of about 7.5 pound. Yogi had a nice one as well. So there's a few hounds around. I could flop some worm out right in the edge and catch a load of little bass just for fun. Lots of things I could do. Was that a bite? Well, it must have been out there for nearly 3 minutes now, so let's reel it in. Oh, no, I don't know if it was. No, I think, is that my first cast without a fish? Probably should be my second, but I did completely fluke that one on the way in, didn't I, earlier on? I mean, skillfully stalked that one on the way in earlier on. Hope you guys have been following all Wayne's videos as well, the Shore Hunter. He's been having some awesome sessions. I'll put a little link in the old description for those of you, I'm sure you all know him. He has far more subs than I do. But just in case you don't know the Shore Hunter, little link in the description to his channel. He's done some cracking videos recently. Go check him out. And actually, shamelessly punting fellow YouTuber time. Frugal Outdoors, Isle of Wight. A cracking guy, really nice guy. I massively upset him recently because he came in my shop and I didn't recognise him. Sorry. But anyway, aside from that bit, that was embarrassing. He caught himself a cracking PB hound a couple of weeks ago now. Again, I'll put the little link to that video in the description. Beast of a hound. Well done, matey. Right, what am I doing? Well, being the professional athlete that I am, I'm sure you've noticed over the years. Don't forget, I'm running the Race for Life. It is now under 4 weeks away. Our little group of myself, Gary Orner, hi Gary, Gary Orner and Alex Teodorescu, we are head first into our target of £1,000. We're not that far away, but we're not quite that close either. So I do need all your help. If you can spare a penny or two, link in the description again to our GoFundMe, it's not GoFundMe, to our charity, to our Race for Life page, all in aid of cancer research. I don't think I need to sell that charity, do I? So if you have got a penny or two spare, we really would greatly appreciate it. We're desperate to try and get to £1,000 before the race, and before anybody asks, no, you don't get a refund if I fail the race. I'll turn this around now. Give it a twitch, 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 twitch. Twitchy, twitchy, twitch. I don't think anyone's ever accused me of being an athlete. I get accused of being a lot of things. Legendary angler, Brad Pitt, body double. Athlete? Possibly not. I have hit that amazing age now where I can't go out and train for my run. You know, I can't go out every day, I'll go for a run, I go for a run. So I did a quick 14k, how blasé does that sound? Just went out and did a quick 14k on Sunday, and it's now Tuesday evening and I still hurt. Don't get old, it's not fun. I am going to run again in the morning though, so my body better sort itself out in the next few hours. It's nothing too major, just the usual things when you hit your 40s. You know, the ankles, the knees, obviously, hips, the back, shoulder, wrist, neck, chin, groin, toes, fingers, elbow. Did I mention that? But you know, the mind is willing, even if the body is not. I'm going to be brave enough to throw it out there, tempt a fish on there, okay? I've got a funny feeling I've had my last mackerel. Nah, that didn't work. But yeah, I've got a funny feeling I've had my last mackerel. Thoroughly entertaining session. It is now 8 o'clock. Hour and a half fishing. Thank you very much. Quite enjoyed that. Do I drag myself through the evening now, scratching around for bits and bobs, having a go for some bigger things? Or do I just think, do you know what? I've had a cracking session, got some beautiful mackerel. I'm going to get home, gut them, clean them. I might crack open the smoker tomorrow, get my smoked mackerel going for the year. And just, yeah, call it a day. Hour and a half down the beach, on the pop-ups, beautiful bucket full of fresh mackerel. What more could you want, guys? Still got an entire half a mackerel to go, so I could carry on. Completely failed the one mackerel challenge summer version though, because how many did I have in the winter? 40 something, wasn't it? How many have I had today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, yes! You see, I tempted fate. It never fails. Okay, I'll do another half an hour. Ah! I dropped it. I dropped it. There was me trying to tempt fate, and fate bit me on the bum. I'm still going to stay a little bit longer, obviously. Fish are still feeding. Remember, small baits. That wonderful old saying that Darren always uses, the devil is in the detail. It really is with this. If I come down here, walk the beach, and find people pop-up fishing this summer with enormous, great big chunks of bait on, big size 2 Aberdeens, moaning that they're not catching mackerel, words will be had. Just in case you think this is like fun and I'm doing this because I enjoy it, this is work, this is hard work. Look, this is you. That's you sat in the dry, enjoying me, stood out in the wet. This is hard work. I'm putting a shift in for you guys, okay? Better be grateful. Hit that like button. Holy smolies. There's me playing on my phone like a youth, not paying attention. Holy smolies, I should have gone with holy mackerel. Let's rewind that. I missed an opportunity there. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A mackerel. Bet you didn't expect to see me reel one of those in tonight. Oh gosh, that was so lightly hooked, it's just come out in my hand. Right, that's a dozen. That's more than enough for me. I'm not going to be greedy. That's a few for the freezer and a few for the smoker. One happy camper. I'm going to go home. Let me leave you with this thought, okay? If you know the mackerel are in and you want to get down the beach and catch some, don't have the mindset of, right, mackerel are in, let's go and fill up the freezer, because you're missing the point with mackerel. They are fantastic fun fish, they really are. Fish for them like this, you'll have so much sport. You'll really appreciate the fish for what they are. Don't just treat them as an opportunity to fill your freezer. Enjoy them for the fish that they are. And while you're at it, of course, you know, fill your freezer, fill your fridge, eat some by all means. But don't forget to enjoy the sport that they give.